Hello and welcome back to another tutorial for the 2D RPG Kit. Now this time I would like to go into more detail about the game manager and how to create party members with different stats. The game manager is like the brain of the 2D RPG Kit and holds important world and character data. This means that usually every scene needs to have the game manager loaded in order to be able to access all the stuff needed for the game to work properly. For this purpose, the main objects loader provides, amongst other important objects, the game manager for every scene to make the game run as intended. The game manager can be reached through the main folder inside the prefabs folder, or alternatively through the 2D RPG Kit menu. The 2D RPG Kit menu dynamically adjusts to whether you are in editor or in play mode, and in this case, for example, if you access the game manager during edit mode, you will be brought to the game manager inside the prefabs folder, but if you access the game manager via the menu during play mode, you will be automatically brought to the game manager that is currently instantiated in your active scene, so that you can now do adjustments to the running game to make testing and balancing easier. For now, let's stay in the play mode so I can show you how the game manager works. And expanding the game manager, you will see that the three party member objects that are respectively dedicated to the three characters that you can control during battles. And currently we have only one activated. And if we go now into the in-game menu, we can see that our current party only consists of that one character. So let's now activate the other two characters and take another look at the in-game menu. And as you can see, we now have all the three characters also active in the game menu, which means that they can participate in battles now. There are currently two ways you can add characters to your party. The first option is to make an NPC join your party via the dialog script. And to demonstrate this, I will just use this NPC that we have set up in the previous tutorial and make him activate party member 2, for example, inside the game manager. Just go into his dialog starter component and enable the add to character 2 option. Let's once more select the game manager so you can see what will happen now. And if we talk to this NPC now, we will make him join the party directly after the dialogue. As you can see, the second character is now active, and taking another look into the menu, we can confirm that we now have indeed one more party member. It of course makes more sense if the NPC actually looked like the character that joined the party, but this was only for a quick demonstration. The next option to add characters to your party is for if you intend to use custom code for your game, because then you could from any script access these three variables of type GameObject and activate or deactivate them accordingly. And back to the edit mode, if you go into your game manager from the prefab folder, you can edit the existing characters by double-clicking the game manager and selecting the character you like to change. Inside the party member, you will find the character status script, which handles all the stats associated with the character. And here you can now change up the name. Let me actually go back into the menu so you can see what exactly you can change here. So this character slot reflects all the values that you can edit inside the game manager, like the character name and current level. The HP and SP settings are reflected inside the two gauges here and will fill up accordingly to the current HP and SP values respectively. And experience points work similar to the HP and SP settings and will fill up this gauge. Each character can also have a number of skills that can be used in battle, and this character, for example, can use the flame skill. You can add your own skills to the database inside the battle manager. For this, you can open the battle manager through the 2D RPG Kit menu and go into the skills tab. Here you will find a list of pre-configured skills that you can use for your game. Just add the correct name inside the character status script. You can of course also add your own skills by expanding the list and set up the skill power and cost, but I will go into more detail about skill creation in another tutorial. And back to the character setup, we have the flame skill assigned to this character, and under the skill menu inside the game menu we can see that this character is able to use the flame skill. You can add more skills to a character by expanding the list and enter the skill names that are inside the skill database. And inside the EXP settings, you can use the leveling system to create a character progression that will make your character stronger with each new level. In the menu, this gauge will fill up with earned EXP and raise the character's level. Inside the status menu, you can confirm the exact amount of EXP the character currently has and how much is needed to reach the next level. The needed amount of EXP for each new level can be automatically calculated via the multiplication factor, and this will multiply the needed EXP every time the character reaches a new level with the multiplication factor, so that reaching the next level always requires more EXP than the previous level. But if you would like to define the required EXP for each level manually, you can enable the manual EXP option and expand this list here. Make the list the size of the max level this character should be able to reach, and in this case it's 99. Here you can then now individually enter the needed EXP for each level. Start out with element number 1, as 0 is always the first level for the character. Now for level 1 we can then specify that this character needs, for example, 15 EXP, for level 2 25, for level 3 40, and so on. With the level bonus settings, you can manually define the HP and SP bonus for each level, and the bonus will be then added to the max HP or SP, making the character stronger with each level. In the battle values, you can now define the strength and the defense values, which are reflected here. They calculate the damage output and input in battles when attacking and being attacked. The offense strength refers to the equipped weapon and doesn't need to be filled out, as the equipment itself will provide the value. Let me demonstrate this by going to the equipment menu and equipping the sword on this character. Opening the currently instantiated game manager and selecting the active character, you can see under equipped item that this character currently holds the sword with the offense strength automatically filled out. The defense strength refers to armor type equipment and works exactly the same. And lastly, under character image, you can provide a sprite that acts as the character portrait in the menu. So with this setup, you can customize each character to individual stats, granting them strengths and weaknesses. But in order to make the character also work in battles, we need to make one more little adjustment. Inside the prefabs, battle and characters folder, you need to select the respective character. Inside the battle character script, you can now provide the sprites, which will be shown in the battles for different situations. And under character settings, the character option needs to be enabled to make this character controllable by the player. The rest of these values can be left empty, as they will be filled out automatically based on the current stat values of the character. And the only thing that needs to be filled out is the character name to let the system know that here we are referring to this specific character. So this concludes the character creation and game manager tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and please consider subscribing to my channel to always get the newest updates and tutorials.